guess it's me. Hello.
It is you. You're the
Welcome.
guy, Q.
I am the guy in the hot seat. So, not sitting in Richard's seat, but I am sitting in his seat. I guess.
The Richard Colon Memorial
Yeah,
seat
right.
is fully retired.
He's still with us. Um, but we are back for another exciting season. So we kicked off our 2026 season, and as I was thinking about it before the words came out of my mind, it said 26 season, and
Yeah.
I was like, we haven't done this for 26 years.
Yeah.
But 2020 2026 season, so year 4 with Behind the Glass. And if you've been following along our journey, we've pivoted spaces, so we're now at Farmhouse, downtown Rochester. Beautiful space. We had our anniversary show there, and then kicked off with 2 amazing artists for this new season. And as we changed our format up just a little bit, instead of the 3 each month, we're highlighting 2 artists. And we have some other exciting things down the road with additional spaces, and bringing some of our alum back, and some really fun one-off shows, and some other things that we want to really get involved with in this new year, and kind of building the foundation for the years to come, really.
Yeah, and so shout out to Farmhouse Table for hosting. We're hoping to have them on the podcast at some
For
point,
sure.
so we
Thank you,
can
Jessica
learn
and
more
team.
about the space. It's great, parking right under the building, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Beautiful. You get to really feel downtown from that, that upper,
It's almost like being
upper
in
bridge.
it's like being in a fishbowl almost. Yeah, it's this
Yeah.
really cool
Yeah.
look at downtown.
Yeah, it looks awesome. And also, Rob Bell, how you doing, man?
I'm
Yeah.
good. Good. Happy to be here. It was a great opening.
Yeah, we had Rob. Many listeners may be familiar with Rob's voice since he hosted, I don't know, majority of our episodes last season. But
Yeah.
yeah, we appreciate you for that, and appreciate you for being a part of this upcoming year. And we've got, like I said, when we talk about some exciting things, we just launched a Substack, so some a little more in depth looks at some of our artists.
Yeah.
So kind of pivoting some pieces over there, and really a lot of this year is to wouldn't even say double down, triple down, quadruple down on making sure we're highlighting and giving space for the creatives that have
Yeah.
really given us this ability to share their work, and trust us to share their work.
I think the one thing that we learned through some of, I won't say adversity, but we ended our year on a interesting note.
Mhm.
We won't get into all of that, but I think what we learned out of that was that we do have a platform now, and we have people who are paying attention. That is because of the artists that we've been happy to have. So with that platform, we want to be able to use it in a way that just, goes back to our mission to uplift underrepresented artists. And like I put in the opening article that I did for the Substack, that's more than just hanging art on the wall. That's advocating for artists, that's learning their stories, really, really a holistic 360 view of curation and support that, we may have not felt as artists ourselves from places in the past, so.
Yeah, I think the thing that I've always been committed to, and a lot of people often will send DMs to the Behind the Glass, like, we continue to highlight, we continue to share people's works. It's not like
Yeah.
hey, you're here for a month and see ya, right? It's like we're continuing to,
Yeah.
someone's doing a photo walk. Hey, if you want to add us as a collaborator, like, we're down to
Sure.
collaborate, to push it out to us, or we'll just keep sharing it in our stories. And people will say, thanks for sharing. I appreciate the support. And I'm like, oh no, you're alum now, you're a fan.
Family.
So
Yeah.
like it really goes, we want to continue to kind of push that, and use those channels.
It's one of the biggest privileges we all have, is to be able to help others. It's something we take seriously on Lunchador, is helping others get their
Mhm.
voices out. People that want that and need the help to do that. And Behind the Glass, a big reason why we do the things the way we do them is because of what you guys did, and you guys and Richard did to build this community and make all of us want to be better as part of that. So this is really exciting to see the next steps, and that the vibes at Farmhouse are immaculate.
Yeah, we're
Like
very
you-
appreciative to them for Richard started that relationship, but really appreciative. It's a great kitchen.
Yeah.
Plug. It's a it's a bar. People are having a drink. They're enjoying themselves. So those amenities really definitely go a long way to have folks engage in the space. But as both of you and I've said too, like it's nice to be able to look out those windows and kind of have that people look up and they're like, what's going on up there? Like
Yeah.
I want to go see what's happening. Like what's the lights and what's happening. So
We are truly
Yeah.
behind the glass.
Yeah.
center. I always say that.
Well, and I gotta say, like, I think this is that little inflection point because the way I've always thought about it is behind the glass of thing.
Yeah.
Like you should want to be involved.
Yeah.
And be invisible and having that opportunity behind the glass of thing.
Yeah,
And when you see it, you should want to be a part of what's going on,
for sure.
which is cool. And I don't know, let's dive in. Let's
Yeah.
dive into our interviews.
Yeah.
We're gonna
So-
do a break or no break?
Nah, we're just gonna
let's go
dive
with
in.
it,
We'll
right?
do the break in between.
So we're gonna go to I think we're gonna go to Erica first here. Erica, how are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for being a part of the show.
Thank you for having me.
So this is our new format has been to record after. So you have been in you've put your work up 8 pieces, right?
Mhm.
Remind me. What was the process like finding those 8? Did you already know like that these are the 8 you were going to share, or
No, it was actually hard to choose which 8, but I think currently or while I was prepping for the show, I was taking a calotype class. So I chose those prints that I wanted to transfer in the class. And then I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool if I have like the original film shot and then also the calotype print. So that's kind of how that came about. And then those 3 images, I was so stoked to see in calotype. So
Can you explain what calotype is?
Ooh.
I know there's a lot of questions when
yeah,
people
yeah.
looked at the work and they were very interested. So you probably have
Yeah.
said this a million times.
I
that
have,
night.
and I apologize to
Yeah.
the calotype community if I don't explain this.
And I think people kept
properly.
asking you. It was like one more drink, you had another
I
another cocktail,
know.
and
Please,
changed
talk
a little
about
bit.
the bartenders being great at Farmhouse. Okay. But also, yeah, everyone being like, "Do you want another drink? What are you drinking?" But I was like, "Ooh." So it's an alternative printing process. You combine 2 chemicals together on a sheet of paper that is for calotype. Oh my god, I'm gonna butcher this. They're gonna hear this at Flower City and be like, "Really?"
I mean, it came out
But it was
beautiful.
only
So
2 classes, so I don't remember the chemicals, but it's 2 of them. You mix them up, you put them on the paper, you dry it, then you take your shot that you like print on the special kind of paper, and then you put it on there. You put it under some UV light, and then it goes through like a couple of wash processes. So it's really cool. Um, yeah, and I was just so excited to see them like on through this process. I just did a couple months ago, like developing, and I did printing. Really loved printing. Developing that it just took too long. Um, and then yeah, then I signed up for this, and that's it.
Shout out to Flower City. Great
Shout out
place.
to Flower City. Oh
Um,
my god.
But it's I did some research when I wrote your article for the Substack.
Mhm.
It goes back to like 18th and 19th century, right?
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
like a really ancient form
Mhm,
of processing.
mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you know you were into that before you took the class, or was it more you were just curious?
So I actually went to like a winter event at Flower City, and
Okay.
one of the artists, Jen, who's on the board and teaches the class, just like laid out all her prints, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" Because so I can't paint. Can I curse?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't paint for shit. It's not even that serious. So, but I love like people who paint, like looking at like the brush strokes and things like that on paper, especially. I love the like idea of mixed mediums. So like photography, transferring that into like a printing process and it like making it its own separate kind of art. So I saw Jen's pieces, I fell in love, and she was like, "Take a calotype class," and I was like, "For sure." So yeah, just seeing her work and again, just like the brush strokes, like anything that makes me feel like I can paint, I'm down for. Just, don't ask me to actually paint because it will be bad. Um, but yeah, so that's really what like brought me
Yeah.
into it.
When you talk about things bringing you into it, like what brought you to photography?
My stepdad, he was just, I don't know, he's like the Frida Kahlo of our home. Was, I guess. He's still alive. Just like fuck him though. But no, he was always with a camera. And I mean, I think it was just like the time we don't have a phone, so you had a camera. Always had different kinds of cameras. Was very into taking self portraits. And I don't know, like just like I really wanted to imitate him in that way. And then yeah, he would like edit his photos and everything. And so I think when I was like 11, I got my first webcam, which don't recommend getting an 11-year-old webcam, but I didn't do anything bad. So maybe it's not that bad. But then I think at like 12, I got my first camera and I was just in school every day. Like I would look forward to going to school so I can take pictures of my friends, get on lunapic.com and then edit the hell out of them.
Lunapic, you taking it back. Oh,
Me
man.
and Lunapic, man.
Oh,
We
shit.
were tight. Those photos were horrendous though, but yeah, it was, I think, watching him and then getting my first camera.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lunapic, that brings back memories.
We
You
all
had to
have.
make sure that MySpace page was
Okay.
nice. I used to make sure like all my friends, their profile pictures are pictures that I took.
I feel like that's still the case in some,
Yes.
right? Like
Yeah.
when you see someone's photo on
Yeah.
social and it's your photo, you're like, okay, yeah,
that.
I guess I did. Yeah, okay. Even if it wasn't like, some people are like, hey, I need my portrait taken for this
Yeah.
thing. But
Mhm.
then when it's like one of those one-offs and you're like, oh wait, like that was at an event and I just took this picture and like they're vibing with it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So it sounds like your inspiration early was just like a really natural, organic, like liking the idea of capturing
Mhm.
photos of people and things.
Mhm.
When did it transition into something that you consciously said, I want to make this more of an art?
I think it happened when I started like collaborating with friends on a creative side because I did some modeling when I was like younger. And modeling was fun too for separate reasons, but then I got back behind the camera and I just started shooting with friends for fun. Um, and that kind of inspired me to get into it more from the art perspective than like everything else I was doing. Um, yeah, and shout out to Erica J. That was probably like one of my earliest collabs in that way. I think we like see photography very similarly, and creativity very similarly. So I think like collaborating with her, I was like, oh, I can actually, because for a long time and still, I guess to this day, like I have a hard time calling myself like an artist or a photographer. I'm just like, I
Welcome to
don't know.
Behind the Glass.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Yeah, see, I think that's the organic part of Behind the
Why
Glass
is
is
this so
that
hard?
I would say, I mean, it's a large percentage. I'm not,
Yes.
yeah, it's a very, very
Include
large
me.
percentage
Yeah.
of folks that will say, I have a struggle. And, myself and Rob included, like we
Mhm.
have this, like to say I'm a photographer, to say I'm an artist is not a natural thing to say. I tell people I take photos of the moment or I capture what's happening. I'm
Mhm.
documenting my life and just happens to be with a camera and some people like it and maybe someone buy it or maybe my work's on a wall, but I'm I, but I
Yeah.
think that's the beauty of the work that you do because you don't need a title to do it. Right? You know what you're doing and someone will throw the title at you. Well, you're a photographer, you're an
Yeah.
artist.
Mhm.
But what you're doing is definitely um, art. It's definitely,
Well, thank you.
especially looking back at your work. And I know I had seen your work prior to hearing you as a sidebar here, is seeing you at the Eastman, which I thought was a
Mm.
beautiful show, or not show, but panel that Jackie, another Behind the Glass
Yeah.
alum who also struggles with saying I'm a photographer, even though she has a photography
business.
business and
Yeah.
takes
Whole business.
amazing photos.
Mhm.
But that's the beauty of it. And so I remember hearing you speak about some of those things, and I thought it was, cool to hear you talk about your work. But I think every person that was on that panel also said,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're up there with Berto and Rudy
Oh my
and
God. So many
like
talented folks.
all of these folks are talented, but I
Mhm.
think also struggle with I guess imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
to put it lightly.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I always had a lot of artistic friends, whether it was, people who draw, who paint, who dance, who sing, who rap, who do poetry. Like I don't think I have not one not artistic friend. But I used to, I don't know, get a little annoyed when they'd be like, I'm not an artist. Like I'm not a painter. I just, did this painting over there. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like you are an artist.
I
And they'd be
basically
like,
said
okay,
that
you're
to
an
you a
artist
moment
too.
ago.
And I'm like, no, I'm not an artist. I'm like, no, I just do that for fun.
Well, I think that's part of it. I've had these conversations before. It's like when I think it's that idea of when you don't identify so heavily with the art, just intuitively, it causes you to be more curious, to be more, to explore more, to not play by the rules as much, right? Because once you call yourself that thing, it's almost like, well, I have to do it this way because that's how a photographer would do it. But like, if you're not so closely identified with it, it's just like, oh, I'm not a photographer, so I can just go, do
I think
this
that's
series
exactly it. I
on this or
think,
that.
yeah, that's exactly it. It gives you freedom to do it
Mhm.
your way when you don't like, I'm not a photographer.
Yeah.
I'm just, a bitch with a
Yeah.
camera walking around. But and I think there's also like a little piece of me that fears getting bored. And honestly, I have before. Before I started shooting film, I wasn't really shooting like digital photos either. Maybe on my phone and stuff, but just not as much. And I wasn't having as much fun. So I just kind of let it go for a while. And now I'm back, and now I'm like taking classes and learning all these different processes, so I don't get bored again. But I also don't want to say like, yeah, I'm a photographer, because then, like you said, like I don't want to
Yeah.
get pigeonholed into
Sure.
something, or yeah.
Then people start asking you to shoot weddings and stuff like that. Come on.
Listen
Although I
to-
would love
Nah, I'm
to
good.
shoot a wedding. I just have to shoot a wedding that like how
way
much
you
you care
want.
about these images, like really.
No.
I know it's your wedding and stuff, but like, right? Like
I think, you should listen to Rob's Beyond the Glass episode where he talks about the wedding. It was your Beyond, yeah, and he talks about taking someone's wedding, and yeah, it's a very interesting listen,
yeah.
because it helped him understand where he felt that.
Mhm.
But people do get in their minds of like, you got to get the first kiss, and we all know it's not the first kiss. So like,
Right.
do I really? Like,
Y'all
come
been
on, like,
kissing.
okay, come on now. This isn't like love at first sight. Like, this is for real. But it's like the B-roll. Like, I want to
Mhm.
go find your uncle that you reluctantly invited to the wedding and like hang out with him for a little while
Yeah.
and like take pictures of that, or someone having the fun that's happening behind the scenes, as
Yeah,
opposed to
yeah.
like,
Well,
okay,
also because I'm a talker.
Yeah.
And so like if you let me know that you have an uncle that you reluctantly invited to the wedding, I'd be like, so what happened there? How'd
Automatically, that
relationship go,
becomes
right?
the most interesting
yeah,
thing, right?
there's
All
so
of a
many
sudden-
interesting stories that but I think people get lost in okay, bride and the groom, okay, mother and the bride, like those are cool, like those are great moments.
Shout
But
out to y'all.
I think of like my wedding was 15 people at the wedding ceremony.
Oh,
Like
I'm
it was
so
really small, like
jealous.
super chill. And some of the photos were like super chill too. We had it at the MAG, and then we went to dinner. But like it becomes more casual. And when I look at your photos, like your photos are more about the vibe. And welcome to Behind the Glass because your photos are about the vibe and less about like the structured
Mhm.
moment.
Yeah.
Um, like the example of your mother's backyard, right? Can you
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about that image? It's
Yeah, it's became one of my favorite pictures, honestly. My mom bought her house in DR. She's, been talking about it probably since she moved to the United States. And so she was very proud of it. It's a beautiful house. She's done all kinds of stuff to it. Oh my God. That woman's a double tourist, so she don't know how to stop spending money. But I took 2 cameras. I always whenever I travel, I usually take at least 1 camera and a bunch of film. Um, so I just woke up that morning and the thing about being on the island is everything is so slow paced. Like you just wake up whenever you want, maybe you eat, maybe you don't. There's coffee. I'm just like walking around the house and I just sat on the I was behind the chair on another chair and I kept just staring back there at like the light changing, the towel that was hung up, like how it was moving. And I took a bunch of photos actually. I took like that photo once, which I can't believe I only shot it once. And then I shot like some puddles and like a chancla that was on the floor. And I was like, oh my God, I just feel so Dominican and this everything feels so good. Like it really that was my train of thought. Like I feel so relaxed. I feel so at home. I feel so good. Everything is so beautiful around me. I think some of the images one of the images that I sent for like the preview was from my bedroom window of the mangoes that like,
Mhm. It's such a beautiful,
hang
yeah, it's such a
right
beautiful
there.
image.
I'm like, you just don't get that in the States. You don't get that in New York. Um, so yeah, I was in awe in that moment really of like the house and I have so many pictures of the house. My mom has so many plants. Just the house itself, there's something about it that feels so um warm, inviting, and I love being there. And sometimes it's like, damn, this is my mom's hard fucking work. Like you came to this country and I get it. Your dream was to come here and make money, but it was really to come here and make money and then go back. And I feel that so heavily. So
Yeah,
it's
not a lot of mango farms here.
no, no,
Very
there's
unfortunate.
nothing, man. There's, right outside my mom's house, there are like at least 3 mango
Oh,
trees. There's avocado, like on the sidewalk.
that
There's
sounds
aloe.
unbelievable.
You go to put aloe in your hair, you gotta go to the store to buy it.
Meanwhile, you're just walking down the street and say, okay, you know what? I
Right
need
there, right? Mhm,
an
mhm.
Slice that big
avocado
leaf
and
off. Yep.
Mhm,
good to go.
That's
mhm.
awesome.
So,
That's lovely. Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you for sharing your story.
thank you.
Yeah. And thank you for being a part of Behind the Glass. I know,
Thank you for having me.
we always talk about there's only so much space that we have. And when I saw you at Eastman, I was like, duh, like you've been on the list and like, let's kind of figure this out. And I knew we wanted to start the year strong and I'm happy you were a part of that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And speaking of starting the year strong, we're going to pivot over to the other artist in this room.
Woo, woo, woo.
And I think look, we're starting this interview at 6:15.
Oh, we love that.
Inside joke.
Right on the 15.
Inside joke for the 15s. You'll have to ask Olivia in person what that means. But that is, I mean, seriously, what are the chances?
I know. It's
Olivia,
perfect.
welcome.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Absolutely.
I am tired. I am exhausted, but I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So tell us a little about yourself, like what, your journey to photography and just creative work in general.
Well, my journey.
But are you okay with saying me calling you a photographer for a moment? right now?
I prefer documentarian.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
my favorite because
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, my journey started when I was about 9 years old. And I've always had a love for photography and film just as a viewer. So me and my dad would bond a lot watching movies of all probably movies I shouldn't have been watching, honestly. We'd watch documentaries together, reality TV show. Like that was my family's way of like bonding together. So we got our first digital camera, which was like a Canon that was like a point and shoot AA batteries, and I used to just go around the house recording videos of like me painting Barbie dolls, fake news reports, and then I would go on like Windows Media Movie Maker, edit them. But I didn't know how to export them at 9, so they would just like sit on our computer. And once I got older, like around 12, I think was when I really started to like, hey, maybe I could really do this like as a passion. Then I learned how to do everything when I was around 12, 13. I had my first ever film photography class in high school when I was around, I want to say sophomore year. So I got to learn how to load up the film, develop. We worked in a dark room. Then I had digital photography after that. I had broadcast media production in high school. So it
Dang,
was
what high school was that?
Brockport.
Oh.
I was in the urban suburban program. So like I lived in the city.
She was like,
went to
man,
school
what
in
high
the
school you going
burbs."
to? Okay. She was like, you got
Um,
everything. Wait, you said the way Erica looked over, she was like,
Hold
wait,
on, where you
she said, you
at?
talking about high
I
school
thought-
or
yeah,
college?
right. Well, at first when you were saying that, I thought you were gonna say like School of the Arts because I have
Oh,
some friends who
no.
were like,
No.
yeah, I did a dark
No, I went to
room.
Brockport.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was
funny
saying it,
enough.
yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
It was a struggle, but really, it was really natural for me. Like again, once my family got our first ever digital camera, I was pretty much like the only person using it besides like my parents when they wanted to capture moments, and I would just record videos all around the house. So it was just like this natural draw to capture moments. And that's one of my like main things. I love capturing raw, authentic
Mhm.
moments and like sharing them with the community. That's my way of like connecting with people, so to speak.
Interesting. Your entry point talked about like watching a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Because that was my entry point in the photography. I went to film school.
Oh, nice.
What were some of your favorite movies growing up?
Oh, my favorite, Love Jones.
Hmm.
It was the
Classic.
first time I ever saw a Black woman as a photographer, like a Black lead as a photographer. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like Nina. I used to love Spike Lee films. I like Bamboozle, the documentary. That was one of my favorites as a child. Players Club was a favorite movie as a child.
Dropping some classics, all the Black classics.
You're right.
All the
maybe-
Black classics. The
You're right. Maybe you
Woods,
shouldn't have been
Brown
watching those,
Sugar.
yeah.
Baby Boy was a classic in
Yeah.
the household. My dad used to also like older films, so like the original Dracula's, Frankenstein. We watched Pinky, this film
You
about.
sure your dad ain't my dad? 'Cause you ain't know about- I'm like, wait a minute now. This is sounding
we are
eerily
siblings.
similar to
Oh,
my
there we go.
childhood.
Well, I think dads just they don't be giving a fuck. They be
No.
like,
Not black dads.
rated R. You're gonna watch this film classic and you're gonna enjoy it. And my dad's like a
Yeah.
huge like cult classic film, horror film guy. So like Porky's, Friday the 13th. I can't even think of all the.
So you got the whole gamut.
Yes,
you got
like-
you got to really understand film.
I
From top to
truly
bottom.
did.
Yeah.
And even with music, like the variety, like my parents, they grew up as preacher's kids. So they
Mm.
grew up very restricted. And I think that led them to want to raise us the exact opposite. Now, I do
Mhm.
think maybe they should have had a little restraint, but honestly, it raised me to be the amazing, queer, crazy, creative that I am today. So I appreciate my parents for allowing us to have access to so much media and not like, restrict what we watch. Like I was even watching like cross-dressing documentaries when I was a child. Like
Wow.
my parents, they were like, they didn't really care. They were like, you're gonna learn about it anyway. Why not watch something informational that'll
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
something is to be said about like having an environment where it's not like taboo or it's
Mhm.
not like, oh, we like I get that connection of you understanding or seeing it like in the safety of home. Like I'm
Yeah.
watching it, you're watching it. I'm gonna tell you about it. Got some questions. Like
Yeah.
let's talk about it. I mean, I watched all of Eddie Murphy's stand-ups when I was a kid.
yeah.
For sure should not have been watching
No,
Eddie
not at all.
Murphy stand. And I mean, I was a big I was like 7, 8, 9 years old. Eddie Murphy was like my favorite actor. And this was like not family movie Eddie that
Yeah.
people see today. This was,
Mhm.
48 Hours, Beverly Hills Cop, and all of his like raw delirious, like wild Eddie Murphys. As long as I didn't go to school like telling the Eddie Murphy
Right.
joke, like
Right.
it's okay.
Does your
Uh,
red leather jacket still fit cute?
oh man, I wish. There's this great me and Robert talking about. It's a great documentary. Was on it's on something right now. The documentary for Eddie Murphy.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
really
Eddie.
great
Yeah.
documentary, and I
Check it
like
out.
remember watching it and being like, man, like Eddie Murphy back then was a wild Eddie Murphy, but
Yeah.
also I was like 7, 8 years old, you know, going outside pretending I was Axel Foley. Like that was like playtime on the weekends. I'm Axel
Yes.
Foley, look at me. And I didn't have a leather jacket, but I did have like this like the Letterman's jacket that I thought
Ooh,
was me
nice.
and Beverly Hills Cop. So yeah, it was good times. There's
Pretty
probably a photo
slick.
somewhere.
You talk about an era. I mean, you just talked about a lot of movies that you dropped, but like the Love Jones, the Baby Boys, the
Mhm.
Players Club, like the
Mm,
'90s was
yeah.
such a ripe time for representation in
Mhm.
Black movies. And I know you talked a lot in your article about representation
Yes.
in Black women and Black
Yes,
queer women.
absolutely.
Is that influence you in any way to create a representation that maybe we don't see anymore in media,
Yes.
especially
I
like
I am all about, again, authenticity and rawness. So I think a lot of the times my way of tackling representation is to be able to capture the multifacetedness and multidimensionalness of Black women and Black queer people just in general. I feel like even with the photo shoot that I did for Black Women is Art, I got the emotion rage, which was so perfect because I have it tatted on my neck. Um, I felt like most of the time, Black women don't like to be associated with the emotion of anger. Whereas I feel Black women are the most entitled to that emotion. So, in
Mm.
my understanding of, well, how do I represent this? Just be as raw and authentic as possible. I told my model, like, I don't want this to seem fake or phony. Like, when you yell, think about somebody that pissed you off yesterday. Think about something that makes you mad and feel that like from the gut of your stomach. And I want it to come out as naturally as possible. Don't worry about how you look. Don't worry
Yeah.
about how you sound. Don't worry about what other people are doing in this room. It's just me and you here, and we're creating art. So just be as authentic as possible. And I think Black women are literally who inspire me to keep going every day, to create every day. I have so many creative Black women around me. Because like I said, I did go to urban suburban, and all the Black girls, we didn't assimilate as easy as the Black boys did. So we all
Yeah.
kind of like just like hung on to each other. And a lot of my muses, my first muses were my friends, like you were saying, like
Mhm.
we would do photo shoots after school. And they really poured into my art. So my goal is to be able to represent Black women in a variety of different ways, not just stick them in a box or associating them with stereotypes, just letting Black women be their authentic free selves.
I find it fascinating that the word was rage
Yeah.
and not anger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a very different thing
It is.
because rage is damage through things that can't be immediately fixed.
Mhm.
It's not an apology. These are things that go to the core.
Yeah.
Um, is the rage is the thing that you mentioned you got it on your neck.
Yeah.
What about, like you mentioned, that visibility of rage
Mhm.
and that not hiding it?
Yeah.
Is that the representation you have on there? Because
Absolutely.
it should be visible.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I felt like a lot of times as a child, like I was very emotional. Like I would cry at the drop of the dime. I'm a Cancer
Cancer,
too.
I was gonna say.
I'm a crybaby Cancer. Like I
Almost
was an
cussed cancer.
emotional child. I used to stick to my parents. I was very scary and anxious. And I felt like as a child, I wasn't allowed to express anger. It was very
Mm.
inappropriate for children to express anger or rage. And then once I got older into my adulthood, society told me, well, you can't be angry about that. You can't be mad. You have to just swallow it and take it. And at some point I literally just was like, no, I can't anymore. That's detrimental to me. So I have to release in some sort of way. So I got this tattoo to remind me to feel all the feelings that may not look pretty or feel pretty, but they're human. So it really is a reminder of me to just like humanize myself and remember that I am human and whatever emotions I feel are valid. It's just all about how I express them and how I release them, not allowing those emotions to take me over, but to feel them out and let them go when I need to,
It also ties to documenting the real that you're talking about too.
Absolutely.
Like it's not that artifice. You're trying to capture somebody. How do you balance when you have a subject? You mentioned the rage, but if you're trying to capture somebody, how do you get them in that spot? How do you work with them to put them in that mindset? You mentioned with rage, but like there's not. I mean, each person is who they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's
and they
hard for
express
them,
it in a different way.
And sometimes it's hard for somebody to show that when they're being photographed.
Well,
how do you get them comfortable?
Just honestly, not to sound like cocky, I'm just that guy, like sincerely, like no, like
I love that.
Sincerely,
Yes,
I will
I
walk
love
in a room and
Talk your shit.
like dead ass. My goal, my goal in life, like overall, who I am as a person, is to make people feel seen, make people feel welcome, make people feel human. Just to make that's my nature. So whenever I meet someone, I'm asking questions. How are you? How have you been? What do you like? Like, I'm like that type of person. And depending on I just had a shoot for a show I have coming up Friday, which is supposed to basically show the different cycles that emotions that women go through, or women or people who have periods go through while they're on their cycle. And for both of the models, it was different. I asked them, I said, hey, when you're going through your period, what are some of the main emotions that you feel? And I wanted it to be authentic. I even told one of them, I was like, I want to see you look like down and sad, but I don't need a fake cry or any of that. Whatever is most natural to you, what feels right for you, I'll take it. So if you can't scream, you don't have to scream. If you can't cry, you don't have to cry. If you want to sit there and look at me and disassociate, that's real. That's how you express that emotion. So it's more so making them, like, getting to know them, asking questions, but also accepting their display of emotion in however way it comes.
What I hear is that you make people feel safe.
Yes, that is
Right.
that is very important to me.
I read something because this thing in my house where like my daughter is like a complete asshole at home. And like rage, talk about rage, right? She goes off. She's only 4. She's about to be 4. But
I mean, that's the time to be an
Right.
asshole.
Okay.
every day every day I would pick her up from daycare and I'd be like, how'd she do today? And they'd be like, you can stop asking that. Like, that was an angel here. And I'm like, really? And then I read an article that said that, kids, when they feel safe at home and they go out other places, they hold all that emotion in because they don't feel safe.
Mm.
And she's the perfect angel at school because she doesn't know if she can be herself.
Yeah.
And the reason why she's going crazy at home is because you make her feel safe.
Yeah. So it's good.
So it's a good thing, right? And it reminded me, that's why I'm like, I feel like you make people feel safe enough to show what the world has told them not to show.
Yes. And it's all about safety, but also just, again, making them feel human. Like, you can be yourself around me. I'm not going to judge you. Who am I to judge?
Yeah.
I've been through and done crazy things. So it's all about making people feel seen, heard, and humanized for me, definitely.
Yeah.
Honesty.
Yes. Truth, raw, authenticity, genuine.
And I think you can feel that in the images that you selected for the space, from the beginning to the end of that, your run. What was the process like for you to, I saw the look in your face when I said it, but I think it's the realest, right? Like, I think, welcome to Behind the Glass, because people go through that. Like, it's a process. You're like, okay, I have, 6 or 8 spots or whatever I'm given. How can I introduce myself
Yeah.
to people. And I think you did a really nice job
Thank
with the,
you.
the range of images.
Yeah.
But, centered right there are people. It's
Yeah.
actually, and I saw a couple of folks pop in and,
Yeah.
take pictures next to it, and just the excitement of, being in the space, but also, giving you your flowers, like
Yeah.
literally a lot of
Literally,
flowers
a
there
lot of
for you
flowers.
guys, which I love. I
talked about
love
that,
seeing
yeah.
it.
Yes, shout out to
But,
Irie
but
Teens.
giving you those flowers there. So what was that process like for
Ooh,
you?
honestly, I'm gonna be so real. I've been battling imposter syndrome like most of my photography journey, like
Welcome
even
behind the
well
glass.
into my
Just record that as a drop. Welcome
Yeah,
behind the
welcome
glass.
behind the
Welcome to
glass.
behind the glass. Well into my teenhoods, and I had not filmed any or recorded anything or done like a official shoot since like September. So I'd been carrying a disposable camera and like playing with my film cameras since then. But I was going through a really bad depression and I didn't like pick up my camera and I wasn't editing. I was just working and like trying to survive. So when I got the message for Behind the Glass, I was actually freaking the fuck out because I've always wanted to do Behind the Glass. I really respect what you guys do, and I love just being able to share my art with the community. And when you said Erica, I was like, one of my fave people, absolutely.
And I am on the wall.
Yes. So I was kind of freaking out because I was like, what am I going to use? Does it have to be like work that's new? And I didn't want to present the Rage project because I was like, I love it. It's some of my best work and my favorite work, but I've presented it at 3 different galleries. I want to do something new. And then I remembered I had my Muse series, which
Mhm.
hasn't been showcased physically, at least digitally, it has been. And I thought, what better way to celebrate the closing of Black History Month and the beginning of Women's History Month than to put a bunch of beautiful Black women and Black queer people on the walls. So that process was it was hard picking images because I have so many that I like. And I did reach out to some of my models, except for Erica.
He's like,
But I wanted to
surprise.
surprise you. I really did. I was like,
Surprise.
surprise, you're on the wall. So it was hard, but my sister and brother, funny enough, my sister and brother, my best friend, and my homegirl, they always help me with image selection. I'll send them my favorite images and I'll be like, which ones do you guys like? And it always coincides with my favorite. So it helps me narrow down like
Mhm.
my images. But yeah, it was a pretty nerve-wracking process just because I was doubting myself and just feeling that imposter syndrome. But I had to remind myself, like, your art is beautiful. It's worth seeing. It doesn't matter how long ago it was that you picked up a camera. Everything that you capture is worth putting on a wall. So yeah, that was basically the process.
And we always get these parallels with the group. Sometimes it's intentional when we pick a certain group. A lot of times it just naturally happens that like
Yeah.
there are so many parallels in like the imposter syndrome conversation. I'll just say again, like I do think the best work happens when in that unconfident
Mm,
mode
yeah.
because it's just like it's something about that space and it's almost like shooting through it.
Yeah.
To use a basketball term. It's just like I just gotta see one go in. And then the ocean opens up. So
Yeah.
I do, it's interesting that you both talk about that imposter syndrome, but so many artists that I've talked to and I see their work and I'm like, what are you like unconfident about? Like that's great. And I just think that the best work gets done when people are unconfident.
Yeah, I think it's the overthinking that
Yeah.
we do sometimes when you're out. And I often piss people off when I say I wasn't thinking,
Yeah.
and they're like, "What do you mean? Like that's a great shot." I'm like,
Yeah.
"How'd you do it? Like how'd you set it up?" I was like, "I didn't think about it.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't conscious of like this is." I was like, I thought it was cool. I took a picture of it, and it was what it was. And there are times where there'll be a picture from years ago, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm kind of vibing with it now." And someone's like, "What was you thinking?" I'm like, "I thought I hated it at first, and
Mhm.
then I thought I liked it, and then I thought maybe I'll put it out in the world and kind of go with it." But I think to Rob's point, and I think I hear that, not I think, but I hear that in both of your journeys, where it's when you're not conscious of that, when you're telling someone just scream,
Yeah.
when you're
Mhm.
sitting in your mother's backyard, appreciating what she did to get there, and you're like, wow, that, towel hanging there is a moment, or this mango tree that, maybe she takes for granted outside her house, but
Mhm.
kind of revel in. Like, it's a moment that you capture that's less of, oh man, I have to wake up, grab my camera. I have to go out and get these 10 photos, which I think we've all had to do at some point where it's like, all
Yeah.
right, I'm on assignment, I'm doing this thing, or somebody wants these things
Yeah.
intentionally. But then those photos or those images are often good. But man, the stuff that you did outside of that, like,
Mhm.
Rob, working as a reporter for years, you go out, and I did the same thing. I'd go out with a checklist,
Yeah.
get a portrait, get this, get that, get this.
Mhm.
And then I'd go off on my own little journey.
Yeah.
And then they would use half the stuff from my journey. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but that wasn't a checklist. And they're like, nah, we really vibe with it. I was like, yeah, me too, because I wasn't thinking anymore, So
That's how I feel whenever. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Whenever I like, because I've been really loving the double exposures,
Mhm.
Mm.
which I used to again do on those editing sites and whatever app I had on my phone. But now doing it on film, I'm always I always can't help but laugh when I got a picture that people are like really fucking with. They're like, "Oh, this is nice," or even like my wife will say, "Oh, babe, I really love that one. Like, how'd you do that?" And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I put the double exposure on my camera. I took one picture. I was like, the first picture, definitely, I'm way more intentional. The second one, I was like, maybe this, maybe if I just, and then, those end up being the ones,
Yeah.
people really like, or
Yeah.
I really like as well. And I'm like, yeah, didn't put a lot of thought into that
I mean,
one, but
most of the time, most of us don't know what the hell we're doing, are
Mhm.
unconfident about things. I mean, make mistakes. These are all the things that make us human.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think when we allow that to come through the creativity, that's why I said you shoot through it. It's like, even though you both say you've had imposter syndrome
Yeah.
or you were unconfident, you still decided to pick up the camera
Yeah.
and do it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that mixture of I don't really know what I'm doing, or like Q said, I don't know why I'm taking this picture, but I should take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that mixture of like being human and not knowing, but doing it anyway that like makes a great product, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also
So
something special about when you are down a little bit. I know for me, as somebody who's trying to help others do their thing, when I get to sit down and just do this or interview somebody, I might be having a garbage week and feeling really bad about myself. And that's the time you needed it
Mm.
the
Mhm.
most,
Yeah.
was when you got to bring that passion back
Yeah.
out
Mhm.
and you got to just try
Yeah.
that moment. You don't know how much you needed it until you just started.
Yeah.
And then you start and you're like, I'm captured something
Yeah.
because my inner passion needed to get
Mm.
out. It had to. And sometimes you don't know it because you're so into your own
Mm.
head.
Mhm.
Right.
I know that's where I get, is like, you know how good you are at what you do,
Yeah.
right? Like, you both know how good you are at what you do, but you get in your own head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you start and you're like, you know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
overthinking was a job, I'd be a millionaire right now.
Oh,
Maybe even a billionaire.
I'm a
I'll be right
tax
there, man. I'll be in a different tax bracket for sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
Overthink. So I think we're gonna take a quick break here, and then we're gonna come back, and maybe we call this news segment after the break. Talk your shit.
Love it.
But we'll be right back after this break. What a beautiful commercial break. Off, off mic, and also the actual break. I don't know what's in the middle there, but it was great. So we're back for kind of the last segment, and before we go to what I guess we'll now call Talk Your Shit, which you'll be able to plug things coming up. I just want to touch on one quick point because I know you both had mentioned it vaguely. You said Erica J. You talked about the Black Women as Art. Can you just like give us a high level, what was that experience like for you? And I know we were all recently, sharing Coco's post about like making sure that space remained. It's relevant, right? It's a very relevant space, but that it remains here in the city. I know you both connected through that space as well as other stuff. So just kind of talk about that a little bit, Erica and Coco, but just that overall experience with, because I think oftentimes people say, well, there's not, who are the, women or queer folks of color in the city doing the work, and they're like, I can't find any, and so they go and find the same couple of photographers or same couple of creatives. So
for me, the show, the Black Women as Art show, was just such an amazing experience. Like I said, I've been working with Erica now, I think actually maybe like a year or two ago. I shot her in my backyard at my house, and I
with a camera.
She is alive. I did not.
It's like the third time where you've had to clarify someone being alive. So go ahead.
Oh my god, you imagine? She'd probably let me. Like, Erica, what if I like shot you? Like,
for a photo?
Sure. So yeah, I posted about it, and I was like, oh, Erica and I have been collaborating 10 plus years. And then when I really thought about it, I was like, no, it's been way longer than that. Like, so I'm at a place with Erica where she just has to ask me and I'm gonna say yes. Like, and vice versa. I'm, working with Flower City and being one of the artists in residence there. I'll be having my own show. Hopefully, shout out Flower City Art Center. I'll be having my own show there, hopefully this year in the fall. And I've already reached out to Erica and, said, you're going to do this. And she's like, yeah, just tell me when. So when she told me about this show, I think there was like an event prior where because again, when I tell you, like, Erica and I think so much alike, we both love photography, but we also both love to talk to people. And I think you as well, like, connect with that. So she had an event where it was a bunch of, women and non-men, and we talked about relationships, and it was like, folks were encouraged to bring their cameras and take pictures. And from there, that was like the start, I guess, of the Black Women as Art show. So again, I said yes blindly, if I'm being honest. And then the more she told me about it, I was like, this is beautiful, because like you don't really see this a lot. Like you see a lot of shows in Rochester, and not to discredit absolutely any photographer or any artist, but like a lot of them are cishet white men.
Yes.
Like this show, from the models to the photographers, like it just wasn't that, and you don't see that. And so that, like, the more Erica talked about it, the more I was like, yeah, no, I'm definitely down. And I got to work with an amazing model, Brianna, and our emotion was peace, like serenity, which funny enough doesn't really come easy for me. But the model
unless there's
did
an aloe tree.
yeah. But I'm even that, like, I'm doing something with the aloe. Like, I'm not just relaxing with the aloe in hand, it takes so much for me to chill. But yeah, I had a great experience. I had met Coco a few times before. I'd been in that space when it was owned by Adrian.
Shout out to the gatekeeper.
Miss them so much. But yeah, I what was the question?
Oh, you answered it. No, you got it. You answered it.
Oh my god, listen,
You
That's
answered
what
it.
Black Women's Art
I
would do to you. It just have you.
Yeah, you loved- that was
you
beautiful.
can't give me a mic. We were talking about signs earlier. I'm a Libra moon, and I used to do spoken word. I know I don't look like it, but I
No,
also,
no,
Oh, you
I
do.
could see the energy.
Oh,
Yeah.
energy.
We could feel it.
Sure, absolutely.
I used to also like
The
rap.
cadence and how you're
The
like,
rap
yeah.
is the part that people don't expect. From me.
Okay.
So every time I say it, I'm like,
Yeah.
that EDJ. That's
Maybe a
kinda
new,
where-
EDJ. Okay.
So, and that all that to say is that once I have a mic in front of me, all I can do is talk. You gotta like, Olivia, would you like to answer the question?
Oh my, I've been dying for this question. I was literally thinking about it the other day. I was like, I will never stop talking about Black women as art because it literally changed my life in a way that I didn't expect it to. I found it through Coco's page. And funny enough, I think I got connected with Coco through Instagram somewhere, and I saw she was having a Black women photographer meetup. And I think that's where I saw you for the first
Mhm.
time, and
Yeah.
Erica J and
Yeah.
everybody else. And after that, I just stayed in connection with Coco, started using her studio, which I love. I love Coco's studio. I suggest everybody go and please keep that space alive because it is literally a necessity for Black queer people in Rochester. But she reposted the application for it. And I was like, this sounds awesome. Let me sign up. I had no clue what I was signing up for. And when I got accepted, I got the Emotion Rage. When I went to the photo shoot, I didn't know I was gonna, I got paid. I didn't know that was a part of
That
it.
was real nice.
Okay.
Shout out to getting
No,
paid.
Shout out
please.
to getting
Yeah,
paid.
don't even have to. Yeah,
I
say
was
paid
like-
because I think that's a very
I
important.
think
piece.
that was the thing that really was like, oh shit, y'all really value me as an
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah.
Like it helped me get my prints ready. And then when I got into the space to hang up my art, you, Deja, Dominique were such great helpers, like in helping me like curate my exhibit and how my space was gonna look. And they were like, take the main room. I brought this little dodgy little flat screen TV to pay my visual because I usually always have a visual element with my photography because videography is literally my main medium mostly. But I love both. And they were like, no, use the big TV, take up the main space. Like you guys were all just super, super like encouraging and insightful. Like I got so much wisdom and so many connections and resources from Black Women is Art. So it's such an amazing program and keep that alive too. I don't know if any people with money are listening. Fund it.
Yeah.
Fund Black Women is Art. Fund the perp. Also, there's another space I'm a plug in called The Lab, which is a creative space that you can rent for photo shoots, events. It's owned by poet Jordan Page. She is a Black queer disabled business owner and poet. Amazing space, always putting on events for the community, always uplifting the community, just a great safe space for Black queer people. So yeah, Black Women is Art. Shout out to Erica J. Shout out to Zarie. Please, if anybody is listening, keep Black Women is Art alive. Like
We want to have a third show.
we do.
Send that money. I don't know.
Send the money
what
in. City of
Erica's, financial
Rochester.
information is, but if you look them up
Yeah, we'll
on
plug it. Don't you
Instagram,
worry.
Facebook, TikTok.
It should be funded by the
Erica's
City of
a
Rochester.
Erica's
I
a
think I read
year
it.
one alum.
I love
Yeah,
that.
so is
Yeah.
remember we were sitting and talking about the we were talking about your show and some
Yeah.
of the year one folks, Erica J, Coco,
Yeah.
Jackie, these are all
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
folks from
All of
Shout
them.
out to
from
Jackie,
year
too.
one alum that but I know we're gonna wrap up here in a moment, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to talk about that because I know that's how you connected in some way, but
Yeah.
also I think it's important to give that some a platform as well, just to
Absolutely.
talk about how your journeys to each other. But I also know how important it is for the community and the folks rallying behind making sure in the 11th hour more or less you know making sure we got at least another month or two to go and how can we move forward and have those spaces.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
thank you. So how can folks find you if they're looking for you in your work? How do they find you?
So for me, you can find me on Instagram at Earth to EDJ. I have a website. Please go on it because I pay for that every month. And I don't know.
For real.
I don't know if anyone.
It's a really nice website.
It's a great
too.
thank
website.
you.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you.
I've been on it before, and I was like,
Your
"Ooh, I
favorite.
didn't know she modeled." Ooh.
You know how many people they'll be like, you don't have like an Instagram page for your no, it's on my website that I pay like almost $30 for a month. So go on there. Also, restrictions on Instagram. Also, I don't want to manage 2 Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
So
Yo,
Instagram
shout out to not one that like
Yeah.
people always like, oh, you should have the separate one is me managing Behind the Glass and 2 other ones that I manage. I'm good. I don't
that's
need to
already
have
3.
That's
yeah,
a lot.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know, it's 4 I manage.
Oh,
I don't need to have another personality that is
Yeah.
me too.
Literally.
So,
yeah. And I think because my photography is me, so it just
Yeah,
doesn't
for
make
sure.
sense to have like a whole separate
Right.
again. Also, because I
so
pay
what's
for the
the
website.
what's the website?
It's stungunedj.com. Stungun yourself used to be my Instagram handle for years. So
Okay. I love it. Olivia.
You can find me on Instagram at the OR Archive. I also have a website. It's the orarchive.portfoliobox.net. Quote me on that. I usually really only use Instagram, and as far as like posting my work, Instagram, my website, and then Facebook. Don't look me up on there. And then you can catch me in real life, real talk. Like
Yeah.
I be outside sometimes, so
Mhm.
like if you see me, say hey, say what's up.
Awesome.
If you want to shoot, hit me up.
I love it.
And I just want to plug that if you want to learn more about these 2 artists, there's 2 articles up on our new Substack right now. So subscribe to that
Amazing
to
article.
just learn a little more behind the great work that you saw and heard about in this episode. So just wanted to plug that.
Search Behind the Glass on Substack.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And then you can find Rob's work, by Rob Bell everywhere.
Oh yeah, but why would they want to do that? I haven't posted a
Stop.
photo in months.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for
Yeah, I'm
little busy.
too busy sharing. I'm trying to post my
Sharing other
own
people's
stuff.
work.
I'm good.
stay tuned for some more from Rob Bell and the Lunch Hour Podcast Network as well. We're looking forward to working with Rob more.
For sure.
Q, any place you want people to find your stuff?
I mean, I'm outside too sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, come and check out the stories because I'll be posting the work of great folks out there. And maybe when the weather changes a tinge, maybe I'll be outside.
Ooh, I feel that.
So that means
No,
July.
for real.
Yeah.
In the summer,
Maybe
then you
July.
can get. In the winter, I'm in the house.
Mhm.
Not
Catch me
fake
outside
spring,
in the
real
winter.
spring.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Well, if you want to check out all the other shows on the Lunchador Podcast Network, go to lunchador.org. Check out some of our new shows. So like Rob Bell just joined the network with Plants and Beats. Looking forward to catching some of those lo-fi beats and talk about plants on the network. We have a show coming up with librarians called Readers Advisory. We're doing Rochester's Book Club.
That's
We're
so awesome.
super excited about that. We have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of fringe previews for Pittsburgh coming up that I've recorded. Really excited for everybody to hear those. So go to lunchhour.org, and we'll see you next time on Behind the Glass.
This has been a presentation of the Lunch Hour Podcast Network.
Ooh, when the librarians come, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
Catch us all out